Taglerino here, and I would like to play this 2-chord progression with you today. We're going to move through the 5 patterns, just like we used in the last video. And again, the cage system, C-A-G-E-D, which corresponds to the patterns 1 through 5, is in Chapter 2 of the Guitar Fretboard workbook. And I saw that on eBay this morning for about $6 with free shipping. So, kind of hard to beat that. I won't make anything. So anyway, the chord building part of the book is in Chapter 14, including the inversions, the way we will use them here, how to find those. Obviously, going from Chapter 2 to 14, it takes you step by step through how scales and chords are built and how they get their names, and there are diagram exercises every step of the way for you to fill in. That will help you learn all of this stuff a lot faster. But the video today is just about playing hands-on as much as possible. So let's start by reviewing the 5 patterns of roots in the key of C, starting with C. Move over a little bit. In open position, or I should say first position, with your C on the first fret of string 2 and string 5 on fret 3. And then pattern 2, that was pattern 1. This is pattern 2 on frets 3 and 5, strings 5 and 3. Yeah. And pattern 3, to get that, you put your first finger in the place formerly occupied by the 3rd finger, and put your pinky on the high C on the 8th fret, and then either reach down with your ring finger to get the same note on the 6th string, or you can just alternate. The important thing is to know where it is. And we're never going to play a huge chord with all 6 strings in that position anyway. We don't want to do that. For what I'm going to show you, it'll sound a lot cleaner and it'll groove harder if we're using smaller parts of the chord. But as moving right along, pattern 4 is in 8th position. Now you have your first finger on the low C, middle finger on the 10th fret, and then also the C on the 1st string. Finally, pattern 5 is with the first finger in the spot that was formerly occupied by the 3rd finger on the 4th string, fret 10. And you got your pinky on the 13th fret of string 2. Now let's do the same thing, the 5 patterns that show every F note on the guitar, because that's the other chord we're going to use. So down here, right above open E, we have F, right, on the 1st fret. So if you have a note on the 6th string, it has to be either pattern 3 or pattern 4. And if the other pattern 3 is not available because the end of the guitar is here, we have to play pattern 4 to get the lowest pattern for F. And you'll probably recognize the familiar F bar chord. That's a pattern 4 chord. So we have fret 1, fret 3 on the 4th string, and then the 1st fret F. Pattern 5 is on the 3rd position on the strings 4 and 2 with the high F on the 6th fret. Now we've completed the system and it starts over. So we're going to put the first finger here and get pattern 1 by playing the F on the 8th fret of string 5. So that's pattern 1. Now pattern 2, first finger on the 8th fret, string 5. And then the 10th fret of string 3. That's pattern 2, and that looks like a familiar A-shaped bar chord. And then finally we got pattern 3 in 10th position with the roots on 10, 13, and the low 13th fret of the 6th string. Now let's play just the basic major chords in those 2 spots. There's a C in pattern 1, pattern 2, you probably know those. And we did this pattern 3, it looks like a big G chord with a index finger used as a capo. But I just want to use maybe the 5th, 4th, and 3rd strings, or the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings. These are major chords, and you only need 3 notes to define the chord, and they can actually come in any order, and you'll recognize these sounds. If you have 1, 3, 5, they're the 1st, 3rd, and 5th of a major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 3, 5. Okay, so this time I'm going to use 3, 5, 1. Okay, that's pattern 3. And now pattern 4, we have the root on the 1st finger at fret 8 in the big bar chord. So that has some duplicates of the notes. We have 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1. Yeah. Okay, and finally pattern 5. Again, that's probably more notes than we can comfortably play. So let's just try playing the little D shape up here, except we're going to use the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th fingers, so we can play the root with the 1st finger. Now, you know, every note that's on this string, for instance, that E, is also got the same name on the bottom string. So we can also play this nice inversion here. This is a C chord with the 3rd, the E in the bass. Okay, let's do the same thing with the F chords. A little faster now. We got pattern 4. Pattern 5 roots on 4 and 2. So I'm going to use that inversion there. Pattern 1 has the root on the 8th fret of string 5. Pattern 2 and pattern 3. Okay, now let's do that one more time and switch between the two. I'll count you in. 1 bar on each chord, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Do that again. Now pattern 2. And then pattern 5 of F. Pattern 3, pattern 1 of F. Again. Now we're going to go to pattern 4 of C, 8th position. Bar chord on F, pattern 2. And then we got pattern 5 of C up here. And pattern 3 of F. Let's try going backwards, and I'll yell out the pattern numbers again. Hopefully that helps. As you get used to it, you won't have to think about it so much anymore. Your fingers will just recognize where they need to go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pattern 3 of F. Go down to pattern 4 of C. Pattern 2 of F. Again. Pattern 3 of C in 5th position, and pattern 1 of F. Do that again. Now pattern 2 of C, and pattern 5 of F. One more time, and we're going to go down to pattern 1, open position. Okay, let's do one more thing and then we'll be done here. And that is, well, I said that these were major triads, and we're going to add one little change to embellish all the chords. And you can do this every time you have a major triad, basically. And that is, instead of 1, 3, 5, we're going to change that to 1, 2, 5. So instead of da, 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 we're going to have da, da, da. And to get the R&B vibe, or a lot of other styles actually, we're going to hammer on or pull off. Do that. So we're going to have a hammer on from open D, that's our second, and to the third is E on the 4th string, 2nd fret. Now, where's the third of F? We know there's an F here and an F there, so da, da, da. It's that A, right? So we're going to change that to a G. And back. Try it in the next position. Now here we have the 3rd root, 5th root, 3rd. It's up here, the E note. So we're going to use a D. That means the convenient way to do this is to just have the top 3 strings. So we have C, E, and G. Get that finger out of the way. I would never play like this for real. Put my finger behind the neck. Okay, now we're going to have to bar the 2nd string to take the pinky off and get that. Actually, it's called a sus2 chord. And remember, pattern 5 of F is right here. So we can bar the 3rd fret again. Some nice kind of folky stuff up there. Also, the more kind of R&B one is to go low. So C, put it in the bass, so you have G to A on the bottom string. And I want you to use your middle finger there. Slide it or hammer it. Now let's move up to pattern 3 of C. So here we got the inversion with the 3rd on the bottom, right? The E note on fret 7. So we're going to hammer on right there. And then the pattern 1F. And that one is convenient. We got the same move on the next string. 5 to 7 on string 4. You might have to take some time to get used to holding that shape down while just lifting the ring finger. But you can do it. It just takes a little while for your brain to program that move. Normally you'll want to just let all your fingers go flying off. All kinds of stuff that can happen in that one. That's cool. It's a good shape. Now let's go to pattern 4. And here we got the same kind of thing. You're going to play the C triad on the inside 4 strings. That's 4, 3, and 2. And there's the major 3rd again, E. So what we want to do is embellish that by going to D on the 7th fret of string 3. And in order to make the chord, we're going to have to hold that there and then play the C with the other 3 fingers like this. So you got your pinky on the C on the 10th fret. And then kind of the diagonal there. 10, 9, 8. And then prepare that note behind your chord on the 3rd string. And then just lift the ring finger off. So same as we did down here. And finally, oh, sorry, obviously F is there, and we have the high one. So from C, you're going to go in pattern 4, we're going to go to pattern 2 of F, right? Same thing as we did in the lower shape for C. Now it's here. Again, we're going to use the 3rd, 4th, and 1st finger bar there. And then you take your pinky off the 2nd string. It's nice to make a little melody where you hammer on and pinch the top 2 strings and then come down to the F and then go back to the C shape. Whoops. Now let's go over to the last one, pattern 5 of C. So we can start with the low hammer on there on the 6th string. And then we have pattern 3 of F again, right? Okay, I've gone on way too long. So I would like you to work on that. And if you're feeling adventurous, try adding a G chord to the progression. Keep it even so that you have a 4-bar phrase. Maybe something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, back to C. And then your G. Sounds more like a song, right? I want it to be 4 or 8. And that's it for today. Once again, all these shapes and all the theory behind it is in the Guitar Fretboard workbook, and I want to thank you for listening. See you next time.